This is captured straight from the PS5 Pro in full 4K, and I've been playing this on both the Pro and the base PS5 back to back. So today I'm breaking down what actually changes when you jump from the PS5 base console to the PS5 Pro. Sharpness, lighting, frame rate, all of it. And yes, this free mode does carry every single PS5 Pro enhancement from the main game. In Battlefield 6 there are two performance presets. Balanced targets stable frame rates with a focus on visual fidelity, and Performance, which lowers visual quality to enable higher frame rates and therefore reduced input latency for a smoother gameplay experience. Let's start with the first thing you'll notice, the overall clarity. Fort Linden's huge map is packed with fine detail, blades of grass, reflective puddles, distant cranes, even tiny decals on the crates. On the base PS5 in its balanced mode, the resolution hovers around the 1440p mark but can dip a bit lower in heavy action. It looks good, but when you flip it to the PS5 Pro, it's a different beast entirely. The Pro version targets full 4K, 2160p, and the image stays much cleaner in motion. That's thanks to PSSR, which is Sony's PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, their new AI-driven upscaling built for the Pro. And the base PS5 uses FSR, or Fidelity FX Super Resolution, which is a solid spatial upscaler, but not quite as sharp. When played side by side, you see it immediately. Gun edges stay defined, foliage doesn't shimmer, and spotting an enemy across the field is just that little bit easier. I've paused plenty of times mid-drop, compared footage, and the Pro's image has that extra crispness. No blur and no fuzz.
Check your mission.
Lighting though is where the PS5 Pro flexes even harder. Indoors, outdoors, dusk, chaos, the difference pops. On the base PS5, the lighting system uses GTAO, that's Ground Truth Ambient Occlusion, which handles contact shadows decently but can leave dark halos around the edges. The PS5 Pro, however, switches to SSGI, or Screen Space Global Illumination, which lets light bounce and spread more naturally. Things like when a grenade goes off in a bunker, the base version lights the floor and walls, but it feels a bit flat. On the Pro, the glow wraps around crates, catches the smoke, and gives everything that proper Battlefield atmosphere. It's not just prettier, it helps you read environments faster. Shadows and contrasts are cleaner, so enemies stand out from the chaos instead of blending into it. Now let's talk feel, the way it plays. I've spent plenty of time testing both systems on a 120Hz display and comparing the differences. On the base PS5, performance mode pushes past 60 frames per second and can climb closer to 100 in lighter scenes, but you still do get dips during heavier fights. The VIR, that's variable refresh rate, smooths it out, but you still feel the hitches. On the PS5 Pro, the same performance mode feels rock solid. It targets the same 120 frames per second ceiling, but the lows are much higher. The game stays smoother under load, the aiming feels tighter, and there's less of that tiny input drag you get when explosions stack up. The Pro also holds resolution better in this mode, usually around 1620p, compared to the base console dipping closer to 1200 to 1300p when things get wild. Thanks again to PSSR, the image doesn't fall apart when the frames ramp up. When you're snapping aim across a field of smoke and flying debris, this stability is everything. When the circle's closing and everything's blowing up, that's where the PS5 Pro really earns its salt. I ran a few tests where basically in matches I purposely stayed till the final zone, buildings collapsing, players still trading fire, effects maxed out. On the base PS5 the frame rate can start to dip and you'll see a touch of stutter when big explosions chain together. On the Pro, it holds steady. Level of detail is also cleaner. Distant squads stay visible longer, less pop-in on vehicles on terrain, smoother streaming overall. The lighting upgrades tie it all together too. Smoke looks thicker, but clearer to track through. Reflections hold up when the world's in pieces, and basically when the chaos hits, the Pro keeps you in the zone instead of fighting the engine. And a couple of other touches I noticed too. The DualSense feedback seems to feel a bit more layered on the PS5 Pro. Probably because of the better effect timing, explosions hit heavier, recoil feels snappier. And if you threw both consoles side by side, base running at dynamic 1440p and Pro at its 4K upscale, you'll spot the difference absolutely immediately. Textures pop, lighting feels richer, and everything is just cleaner on the PS5 Pro. So after running both systems, here's the verdict. The PS5 Pro turns Battlefield REDSEC into a straight up showcase piece. Sharper visuals, more natural lighting, smoother performance, it's everything you want from an upgrade. If you're still on the base console, you're not actually missing content, but you are missing out on that extra layer of polish that makes this game really shine. So there's the video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you hit that like and subscribe button or even shared it. Every little bit helps. But thanks for watching and bye for now.